Welcome to International Institute of Technology and Applications for Clinical Research in Drug Development and Devices. In today's lesson, we will discuss what is clinical research, as well as drug and device development. Clinical trials are sets of tests in medical research and drug or device development that generate safety and efficacy data for health interventions. It simply involves giving a subject an experimental drug or device. Scenario 1. Let's imagine that Pfizer just developed a compound 5 for the treatment of constipation. It is the goal of Pfizer to commercialize compound 5 in the United States. Before compound 5 can be commercialized in the United States, Pfizer needs to provide evidence that the drug is effective and safe. Now, scenario 2, the pharmaceutical company gathers evidence and submits it to the Federal Drug Administration. The FDA is a pharmaceutical product regulatory agency in the United States. Clinical research has been and will be done on all pharmaceutical products and medical intervention. Clinical trials are not done for vitamins or supplements because they're not used for specific conditions or diseases. The drug developmental process. A drug has to undergo a series of tests before it can be sold to the public. Manufacture and development of the compound. Drugs originate from synthetic, naturally occurring, molecular modeling, and the candidates are chemicals, biologic, and radiopharmaceuticals. In vivo tests. Research to determine how the drug affects the organism at the cellular level, in which various entities are tested on living organisms or cells. Animal research. The drug will be tested on animals. The results from animal research will be used to determine the pharmacokinetic, toxicity, safety, bioavailability, drug-to-drug interaction, and the efficacy of the drug. Clinical research. This is different from animal research because it applies to humans. This happens only after preclinical research. Testing on human beings will not commence until the data from animal research and in vivo tests yield positive results. Drug development stages. Let's assume, for example, we begin with the scenario of 10,000 compounds. Well, at stage 1, the drug discovery, that number gets reduced to around 250 compounds. At stage 2 of the preclinical development. As we go into stage 3 of clinical development, that number will get reduced to 5 compounds. And out of the 5 compounds, regulatory approval will yield 1 acceptable compound. Fact: less than 1% of drugs in the preclinical stage makes it to the clinical stage. Drug development is expensive. Drugs can spend up to 15 years in research before it is available to the public. For every clinical trial, there will be a protocol that specifies how the trial will be conducted. It requires a subject to take medication that is under development, called investigational product. After FDA approval, the compound is no longer called investigational product. Phases in clinical trial. In future lessons, we will be discussing more detailed the various phases of the clinical trial process. This would include phase 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4.